Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, but first, as always, let's take a look at our weather brought to us by the good folks at Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Looking at a pretty decent day today, high of 85, low of 76. It's been a good month overall, weather-wise. I've been excited about this southwest wind we've had the whole month just about it. Moving on to our water temperature brought to us by Allco Electric. We're looking at 84 degrees. I was checking the first part of May, it was about 78. So it's gone up about 6 degrees the month of May, which is pretty typical, and that's why you see so much migratory activity with the fish and all. I know it's just an important time of the year when that's going on. Our low tonight is going to be 76. River readings brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. The Apalachicola Bluntstown reading of 7.5 this morning and steady, just flat out steady. Choctaw Carabelle, it's down to 2.4, but it should be going up. Some rain coming into the Panhandle. About 50 to 60% chance of rain, and it's going to make the river go up a little bit. So it's always enjoyable to watch the Choctaw because there's such a natural reading on that. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. As I mentioned yesterday, good strong tides all week long. High this morning at about 10:35, and low tonight about 10:19. It's just really this is just an ideal kind of fishing because you fish at high tide, that tide coming in the morning. Then take a break when the tides change, take a break, have a sandwich, and when it starts going out, get in one of those channels or move around those channels as the tide going out. It's a great time to do some inshore fishing. Our wind direction will be coming southwest at 10 to 15. Let's take a break, we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. One of the things I really enjoy on the show is just sharing so many human interest stories, and most of them centered around the outdoors or family and friends and all. And if you remember last year, I had my cousin's granddaughter on the show, Sister Arnold from Sneed, Florida, softball player, and she played softball at Liberty County. They won a state championship. She signed with Northwest Florida State College over there in Niceville, where they've had a banner year. She led the state last year in home runs, and this year as a sophomore, they've gone to the World Series. I know she's an athletic girl and just loves softball, loves her family, and I've been following her real close because of the family ties. Well, this past weekend in Yuma, Arizona, they drove the bus out there. I think it was a 16-hour drive. Anyway, I love what happened. They won. They were ranked number 3 in the nation, but they beat the number 1 team and won the World Series with junior college softball in America. So, and she won, check this out, she won the most valuable hitter in the tournament, okay? She hit four home, 287, let's see, she got a home run in a game. This is just the championship game. And she's had a great year, so I want to congratulate not only her, but Northwest Florida State College up there in Niceville. So, anyway, I'm just real proud of it. We're going to move on. Got all kind of pictures. I hope I get through all of them. Okay, I want to get ahead. Let me get set up, Jeff. I've got so many to show. I want to go to this one here, right here. Just a lot of times I get, Jack Nichols sent this, a good show this morning, Chris Kramer. Last week I had Chris Kramer on, but he was talking about being a Kramer Marine, and they took care of him. And just a wiring harness, and it's just really good testimonial for Kramer Marine from Jack. And also, he had, bottom paragraph, had a great experience with another one of his sponsors, Daniel Cole. He did a saltwater intrusion inspection and did fantastic work. So it's great to get testimonials on our sponsors. All right, 2 weeks ago I showed the FWC manuals. This was from the 1997, anyway, the middle one right here. That green one came in 1998, and then it exploded up to one this big. And and we couldn't figure out why. One of the reasons if you remember, in 1998, an amendment to the Florida Constitution, the FWC, it was the Florida Marine Patrol and the FWC, and they formed into the one agency. Florida Game and Freshwater Fish. So this is what happens. They combine with the Florida Marine Patrol. That's why a big reason for all of that. Okay, Steve Rogers. Saw Steve down in Weewalt the other day at Howard Creek. Here, two of my grandboys doing some fishing. They caught these recently in some sandhill ponds. Jarrett and Logan Rogers. And also a few pictures from trip Beth and I made to Holmes Creek. Not much luck. Jackfish and a mudfish. And it was a good day. Got out right before the rain. Here they are. Look at a big old smile on these boys' face. I love seeing these kids fishing this time of year. That's always a beautiful picture. Get a mosquito hawk in there. Holmes Creek, beautiful, beautiful area. Look at those trees. Thank you, Steve, for showing. Okay, this kid is going places. His instructions were to write 80 to 100 words. So underneath there, he wrote 80 to 100 words. That's pretty smart, isn't it? They're following directions. Here's a flashback. This is Aaron Beach Drive, okay? On Highway 98, the front is just in 1929. This is how it looked. This is Front Beach Road, right? And the sand is interesting. They built closer to the water than I thought in those years. Sherman Proud sent this other afternoon. Watson Bayou, which is just a beautiful place down there, an old place. I just thought it was a great picture. Thank you, Sherman Proud. Those sunsets or something. Billy Grantham, buddy down in Everglades, Carson Sweet down in Everglades on a big hog hunt. I say a big hog hunt because he's flat out got a big one right there. Good job, Carson. Okay. I like these historical pictures. This is 1910. What those are 36 water moccasins. And in the Everglades, of course, back then, there were, you can imagine the water moccasins. But this guy made a Christmas card out of it and sent it to his friends and, from the Everglades. I've never seen that, never heard of anything like that happening. That was over 100-something years ago. You couldn't do that now. My buddy Harry Ivan, man, do we have some red snapper pictures to show. This past weekend, it was open up. Harry, this is his grandson's fishing, and they had a great trip there. And Junior Kelly caught some mullet. This is really not a bad catch for his first time mullet fishing this summer. There's Junior right there. I show pictures of him every year. He throws a great cast net. And here they are. Let's see. I got another picture, I think. Okay. Anyway, he caught some all weekend. All right, take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I always try to get information out to you of people doing different things and all. Anytime you have something going on, I'll put a poster up, whatever, just to share some good outdoor stuff. And all kind of people doing all kind of things, from fishing tournaments and all kind of things. So this one here, this is coming in. This is a turkeys for tomorrow, boil for the birds. This is this weekend up at Edward Road in Southport. Bottom line, contact Morgan Pugh, and there's a number right there, 381-4388. And entry for the, it's going to be big shrimp boil, turkeys for tomorrow up there. So if you're interested, contact Morgan Pugh. So anytime, like I said, anytime you have any information on different things, send it to me. I'll be glad to put anything pertaining to outdoors. Now, like I said, I got tickled about the different snapper pictures. All kind of came in, and then Linda Emmett sent me this one because she said she sent me a message just in case y'all get tired of all those snapper pictures today. This is a snook. Look, check that out. Is that amazing? She caught it this Memorial Day weekend. Good job, Linda. And she's going to come on the show. She came on the show years ago, and she's back into fishing now. Okay. The Lovett, Gotta Love It is the name of the boat. This is Patrice Lovett Griffiths, married to Matt Griffiths, and the son has been on the show before. Oh, here we go. So the girls, they went out and they claimed they caught all the fish. But look, this is, look at it, what a great mess of fish. You got your trigger, you got your mahi, you got all kind of good fish. Okay, now you want to see some big ones too. Taylor Wheeler saws with Cole saws, her husband. I want you to look at some of them. He's a captain. He can fish, and she can too. They have a great. Look at the size of some of these snapper. And one thing that's standing out in these snapper pictures I got over the weekend, how calm the water was. But man, great pictures out with a couple of friends. It was open for the weekend. It's closed during the week now, and it was open for the weekend. First time it's ever been open, it wasn't a long time. Look at the size of those snapper. Great job. I know that was enjoyable. I saw so many. The boat ramps were just packed out. What about now? What about if you don't have a boat? Take a kayak. These guys went out in a kayak. Sean Pittman, J.W. Deegans, and J.R. Talamentes. You may recognize him, the Panhandle City Police Chief. But I'd love to see these guys get out in a kayak and just paddle out there, or pedal. I guess they have pedals and paddles, and find some good spots. This shows the abundance of red snapper. It's so interesting to see these kind of catches. That's really good. You don't have to worry about paying for any gas bill. If you've never tried blindfold archery, you don't know what you're missing. I get these things at night. I write them down. They're more funny at night than they are at 5:30 in the morning, but they're still funny. Elizabeth Murphy, I showed her pictures for years. She's one of my former students and raised through elementary school and in England, and she moved over here with her family. And she's a third grade teacher in Weewall, but she flat sure can fish. She and her husband, Clay Murphy. This is her biggest trout she's caught. They fish a lot in Apalachicola Bay. I don't know where that is right there. Good job, Elizabeth. Okay, that's my buddy Curtis Locke. First of all, you notice that little kid with a fish. That's Tanner Locke's first fish at 5 years old. I love it. He's got it upside down. Isn't that cool? But look at Curtis's shirt right there. That's a Panhandle Outdoors shirt. Curtis is my cousin. In fact, Sister Arnold is his niece. So we see each other every year at our family reunion. Try to in between. He's got a camper down there in East Point. Speaking of East Point, this is cool. This is at the First Baptist Church at East Point, Sunday morning. So Walter is preaching there temporarily until they find a full-time preacher. So anyway, we had the family there. Mason played some music, but I just want to give a shout out to this church here. What a nice crowd for Memorial Day Sunday. And way back in the back right-hand side, that's Wayne. He watches the show every morning. He watches Panhandle Outdoors. So shout out to Wayne at East Point Baptist. And there I am with Wendy and her family. And we just had a grand time. It's just a church like that. Let me say something about those churches. A little small town church. That's the kind of church I was raised in, the Quincy First Assembly of God. It was a church a little bit bigger than that, but the same kind of love and fellowship you had, and that's what I was used to growing up. And you didn't misbehave or anything. You paid attention to the teacher, and you loved singing. You loved listening to the old gospel songs. And that was the root of my faith and all in those situations. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But when I go back to these what I call old country churches, there are not many of them left anymore. It's just a nostalgic, warm feeling to see it, and then to see my son-in-law up there preaching. Walter did a great job on the sermon, and especially a blessing to see Mason up there singing and leading singing, and he sang some of them sort of modern songs, but he sang a couple of old songs, and everybody sang with him. So it was just a special day. East Point, a special place in the Florida Panhandle. Okay. Speaking of catching, Frank Ansley, this is my former students now. I always take credit for teaching them how to fish, but not really. These boys can fish. They did back-to-back mornings. And here's some of the catches. And again, look at the mahi that's blended in. The mahi with these snappers. That's just some really good catches right there. Chad Miller and Frank and those guys. Those boys are been friends since school days. It's good to get back with them. Frank's got a nice boat too. How about that? How about that group? Again, look at the calm water, how calm everything is. There it is right there. All right. Now, on this segment right here, Elliot Melvin, one of the former ball players there, if anyone sees this little canoe for sale or in the back of someone's truck, it got stolen from behind my house this week along with a nice chair. I got a $500 reward if you can find out who took it and if I get it back. There's the phone number right there. But you know what these canoes look like? They're great little boats, and that's just, I mean, it's so wrong to steal. And just stealing someone's boat like this, I mean, look at that. it's special, or something like that is special to a fisherman. So here's Elliot's number, 850-258-0867. And somebody just all of a sudden ended up with a canoe in the backyard that hadn't been there for a while. If you can't get a hold of Elliot, call me. This really bothers me when somebody takes something they shouldn't take it. Of course, it's totally wrong. But going to somebody's truck and take stuff out of it and stealing his outdoor stuff, his fishing stuff and all, that's flat out wrong. So we do all we can to try to get it back. And Elliot, we hope you get it back. Okay, let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. How about 12:49 to 2:49, right in the midnight, and then we're looking at 1:32 to 3:22 right after lunch today. One of the things we're going to have, also over Memorial Day weekend, I was down at Howard Creek, and Gail and I had enjoyed the fried fish, and so many folks I saw. We did the weigh in, but anyway, saw a bunch of good folks there, and with that video we're putting together, it will be on, a lot of y'all are looking for it now, it'll be on the show Friday morning. We'll get it edited and all. I have a guest coming on tomorrow, Mike McGraw will be on tomorrow, and then we'll have a video for y'all on Friday, so you don't want to miss that. Some nice brim caught. I mean, some pretty brim and shell crackers. So that's just a lot of fun. But anyway, I was at East Point. Okay, Howard Creek, East Point. I mean, that's not the heart and soul of the Florida Panhandle, these little towns like this. But I swung that by. I'm always on my Friday fishing report. I'm talking about the bridge at East Point, the St. George Island Bridge at East Point. So I swung by there with my clothes on. I didn't have my fishing clothes on, but I just had my Sunday go to church clothes on, so not really, I had a pair of jeans on. But anyway, I took some pictures, and I just want to show you, if you haven't been there, this is just out on the bridge looking back toward East Point. And then I wanted to just, I did this, the big thing, you got bathrooms there and all, and you see how many people out there fishing. They're not fishing close by, they walk around on the end of the bridge. You see them way down there, okay? So just a little panoramic. This is looking east toward that beautiful Apalachicola Bay. It is full of all kind of fish and crabs and shrimp and oysters. But anyway, there's a bridge there, and that's a new bridge on the right. I was built in, this old bridge was built in the 60s. Okay, and then I panned down up that sandy area. You can walk to that sandy area back to the left, but I'm always looking for a place to get to the water. And I just a kid in me, but anyway, I wouldn't want to walk through those rocks, and it drops off pretty fast. So, okay, so anyway, so I go on, and this is a picture. I want to look on the right side of the bridge, and maybe we could walk down that way. And I go on down there, and it's pretty sand, but see how it drops off? And that's the Apalachicola Bay water. But anyway, you can still get down there over here to the right. You can walk down, it's not quite as rocky, and fish underneath the bridge if you want to wade fish. Okay, then back up looking at it, and then have some stuff there at the house. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, I got those. Let me move on to some other pictures. What was cool, this is the city of Panama City, being, we talk about a lot of times about the purple martin. Well, they have, anyway, these birds, they have a nest. They did a nest check. This was last week, a nest check for, okay, it's at a garden club, and the Chautauqua students came out, and they've had 42 chicks in 12 nests. And they're really cool. So they have this set of gourds. Anyway, I'm gonna show you what, this is really cool. Look, these are these plastic gourds, and they keep them up there, and they maintain them, and they actually check them. Look here, hold that ladder for me. I'm going up to check those bird nests up there in the gourds. Hats off to City of Panama City and the Audubon Society, the folks behind doing this. So what they're going, they see there's a telescopic pole. See the little crank right there? You can crank it up and crank it down. Is that not cool? So they cranked it down, and they're looking in there. And here, look at the nest. Look at the little purple martins. They're pink martins right now, but isn't that cool? They hatched out. I love this. What a natural nest. Okay, here's the male bringing in. Look at it. He's bringing in. Look at that mosquito hawk he's bringing in to the mom. Donna Cronwell took these pictures. What a great picture. Is that not nature at its finest? And there's Mom said, well, go. I told Gail, she told him, go get another one. We need some more food. Okay, real quick, moving on. Well, good job. Over here at Shalimar Bridge, we're talking about fishing off there. They're catching a lot of sharks off there right now. This guy's talking about a blacktip and spinner. And anyway, they're very close, and there's no minimum on the blacktips. Captain Kim out of Sea Quarters, real quick. You knew a great variety of fish this weekend out of Sea Quarters. She sent me this email, and check out the snapper caught down there. Water was just as calm down there going out of Carabel and Apalachicola Bay. Look at these big old quality red snapper. I mean, is that not great? And a variety of fish too. White snapper, just a good job. And they hung them up there at Sea Quarters Marina. They've been sponsoring us since we started Panhandle Outdoors. And they're just a good folks and a very, very special place to fish. Okay, jump into snake bites. I got all kinds of stuff for y'all today. I ran across this snake bite deaths in the United States by county. Is this not cool? Of course, we want to concentrate down. First of all, look at the legend on the far right. It says, one wild snake death is orange and green is one captive death snake. So look, we got a green one right here. That looks like Holmes County. Let me go over here. I got to look maybe clear. This picture a little more clear. This is Holmes County. It looks like it's Holmes County. No, that's Calhoun County. A captive snake bite there. But look over there toward Jacksonville. All these are wild snake bites right here around Jacksonville. And then the red one, there's two. Red right here in southwest Florida, that's two deaths from wild snake bite. But anyway, just look across America. It's interesting to see this. And then I looked out west. Of course, I'm not going out that way, but Southern California. Look at all those snake bites over there, and those are wild snakes. But the green is just different snake bites, deaths throughout. But look at Louisiana. Louisiana has none. Mississippi has one. But look at Alabama. Alabama had a lot of snake bites, and Georgia and South Carolina had a lot of snake bites. Anyway, I just want to show you all kinds of things. I still have different things to show you, but that shows. I love showing you those things because to me it's interesting. I'd like to share it with you. Today we had a lot of pictures today. I'd gotten behind on pictures, so with the Red Snapper weekend and all kinds of stuff coming up, I wanted to get caught up on those pictures. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's show. We enjoyed bringing it to you. Y'all do something good for someone else today. Enjoy our great outdoors. Let's take care of it, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.